Hello, everyone. I am Paul Wizzo, and welcome to Wizzo Talk. Damn, I almost messed that up. My tongue got tied up in there. But hey, when you're going live, that shit happening. You just kind of got to roll with it. I want to welcome everyone out to another episode of Barbershop Talk Part 3. And before I go off into it and before I get to my guest, I want to just let everyone know, whether you're watching it now or you watch it later, how Barbershop Talk was born. And that was by no other than R.V. Baker right here that's on the cast, because I used to call it random. And then I turn around and I send him a message or something. I say, hey, R.V., you want to come on, whatever? He's like, yeah, I like to come on the Barbershop Talk. I'm like, hey, can I use that? He said, yeah, you can use that while we chop it up. And so Barbershop Talk, Let's Chop It Up was born. So that's how that was born. Hey, Mr. Rice, we see you right there, baby. And that's how that worked out. So that was perfect. So what we're going to do right now is I'm going to work my way around the room, let everybody do their own intro, and then we're going to get right on off into this thing. So 7 points, what you got for us?
Yo, much bliss, man. Hey, this your boy 7 points of bliss, aka Pomegranate Samurai, man. It's an honor to be on Wizzo Talks, man. If y'all want to check me out, I'm on Spotify, Cosmic Currency 777. Wizzo Talks is also on Spotify. Check him out over there. You ever want to check out some of my art, just Google After Real Truth, all one word, and you'll find me, man. It's an honor again, bro. Thank you.
All right. OB, what you got for us?
Hey, the one and only RVB Baker Jr., your veteran in service and in need. I don't have too much to say right now. I just want to jump into it. If y'all want to get in touch with me, y'all go ahead and holler at my man Wizzo. He know how to get in touch with me.
Already. All right, we're going to come on, drop it on down and let Mr. Slice and Dice do his intro.
What's going on, guys? It's good to be back. Right on the Wizzo Part 4. I forgot. We've been on here a few times, but excited to meet the guys and see what we can chop up today.
Right. That's what's up. All right. If we got a new one on here. What's up there, Mr. Darius? What you got for us? Do your intro.
How's it going? Darius here. This will be my first Wizzo Talk. So I'm excited to talk to you guys, chop it up, and join the experience. So let's do it.
Already, that's what's up. Glad to have everybody on. I'm glad that everybody made it in on time. We have one guy that didn't and one lady that dropped out for numerous reasons or whatever. But also, guys, this will be uploaded on Spotify. We're going live on X right now and on Facebook. So without nothing else further ado, we're going to jump right on to it. And I hope you guys got some topics. I was going to start with one, talk about 45, but I'm not going to talk about him. I'm going to let somebody else bring him up. But I want to bring this up because I know how my Army guy, OB, feel about police officers and everything in the blue. So this would be a good one for me to get some feedback. And I know, Arvie, you've heard about that goon squad down in Mississippi, I believe it is. So I just read just a quick little thing right here. You know, the group of white officers raided a home in Braxton without a warrant. They took these two black guys. They beat the shit out of them, shot one of them in the mouth. And, the chief or whoever supposedly didn't know anything about it. I'm just skimming through my little notes right here. Then they were sentenced to jail. They had one of them received 32 years, one received 15, one received 25, one received 45. Now, these are police officers. So my question to you guys is, is there a goon squad in your town or state? And if so, how do we protect ourselves from the officers that's out there to serve, that's sworn to serve and protect us? So this was the goon squad.
Okay, is that one tossed to me first?
Yeah, just wide open.
All right, yeah. Let me get into it. First and foremost, full disclosure, I am pro people in blue as long as they are professionals. I'm always going to back the women and men that protect and serve, but we got to face the reality that not just in Mississippi, but pretty much all over the United States, they got a clique of people that I call bullies behind the badge that are clicked up as gangs. And the thing that happened in Mississippi, unfortunately, is a small taste of what's going on nationwide. 7 points of bliss. I know you can back me up with this. We always had that in Chicago. Yeah. They always busting groups and another group comes up. And my answer to that is when we see this, when we want to protest this, and I mean this on anything, everything, try not to say that all the cops are bad, because when you say all the cops are bad, that plays into their hand to say, look, y'all, it's us against them. Even though we bad and y'all doing good, they don't like y'all anyway, so y'all should back us. Let's start calling these people out by name. That group that was in Mississippi, they got names. When you talk about, don't say the Mississippi police force sucks and we want to get rid of them. Call them rat bastards by their name. Officer Jack Rabbit, Officer Nuck and Fuck, all the jokers. Call them by their name and say, go after them. Oh, did I let that slip? Are we still I done got too real up in here.
Get it? We uncut, let that shit go.
Okay, and the reason I'm so 38 hot on this is because there's a lot of men and women that do their damnness to try to protect and serve. I mean, they go so far to the point they let people spit in their face, try to prove, hey, look, we here for y'all. And then you got these jackwagons that show up like, nah, we a gang. This is how we roll. It's us against y'all. So let's point them out. And the more that we point them out, the less they can hide behind the ones that's trying to do the right thing.
Right. Anybody else gonna comment on that there?
Hey, I want to say, fuck the police, man. Hey, listen, bro. I'm gonna tell you like this. We need to get to a point where we police in our own communities, man. Anytime we rely on exterior forces to come into our domain to protect families that are not theirs, that they have no link to, this is what we should expect, though. Honestly, I mean, these people have already said what they were about, and I really don't give a fuck about the police, because the police is just another extension of the government, and y'all already know I don't fuck with the government, man. So
yeah, we know that.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, as far as I'm concerned, all the people in the community should be bearing arms, and we should move in on motherfuckers like we should have did when we had the Black Panther movements, because ain't nobody gonna love us like we gonna love us, man. And if we have any trouble in our community, we should be shutting that shit down ourselves and dishing out the justice that we feel. You know what I'm saying? Like, if somebody rapes somebody, fuck it, let somebody rape them. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just how I go. That's how I feel.
God damn.
Tell them how you feel. Hey, if somebody kills somebody, they dead. You have to. Sometimes, man, you have to get into the mind frame that you got to kill a few hundred to protect a few million. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we be scared to be in that. We're scared to be in that mind frame, but the government is not scared to be in that mind frame, bro. That's why they keep letting people just murder our people, though. You know what I'm saying? Don't nobody ever talk about the white on white crime, but the police always come into our community killing our people and doing some crazy shit and trying to justify it, though. But a white man can walk down the street with a motherfucking automatic assault rifle and they'd be like, sir, just put it down. We just want to make sure you get home safe and all the other bullshit. A black kid can walk through the same neighborhood with a slingshot and murder him, dog.
Yeah.
So we really got to get to that point where we take care of our own shit, you know what I'm saying? And we dish out justice in our own way. No matter how brutal it may seem, it's not really about how you get to the outcome, dog. You know what I'm saying? As long as that goal is met. Sometimes you got to do some crazy shit to protect our women and our children.
Okay.
Hey, I want everybody else to speak on that, but as the government guy here, I agree, and I got to push back on you a little bit. I got to agree that everybody should be able to carry a weapon. I agree that justice should be dealt out to those people that's doing stuff. But again, this got to be precision. You can't be going out there shotgun approaching and trying to do stuff. This is sniper action. And as far as the government, because I'm in the government, of the government, brother, we train.
That's true.
Mean, when we start talking about people coming at stuff, that is not the way to go, because when you got people that have passion to do stuff versus people that shoot cinemas for a living, that's going to be more of a problem than a solution. But here's the solution that I give to you. And it comes from some of the things that you said that I wholeheartedly agree with. The police should live in the community that they police.
Yeah.
The police should have everyday interactions with the people that they police. The rules of engagement should be based on everybody, not race and color and how you vote. And as far as like weapons, you see, I got my weapon shirt on right now. I'm one of those black kids that walk around strapped all the time. I've been pulled over a couple times. Haven't been shot once. Now in Chicago, I've been shot at a couple of times, but it wasn't the cops. Right. So when we talk about this, all I'm saying is, brother, you're not wrong. I don't feel I'm wrong, but somewhere in the middle, we got to intersect and get that balance right. Because as long as we can say government versus everybody, the ones that want that win. As soon as we start flipping it where people in the government saying, nah, fuck that. We going in this community. We're going to live in this community. And we're not going to let anybody just come in here and manhandle our people. That's when we're going to get that change that's so desperately needed in America.
Mm. Hey, bro, I'm gonna tell you this, man. I just want to speak real quick. I'm gonna let somebody else speak, bro. Honestly, you know why we saying the same thing? And it's because of this. The fact that you agree with that the people should be policing their own communities, that right there should let you see that the government doesn't matter. Because once the people who work for the government realize that they're everyday regular people, no matter what your training is, you could be a politician, you could be a soldier, you could be whatever. But when you realize that your family ain't that and they just regular people, dog, you can realize you're a regular person too. You know what I'm saying? And that's what you got. You gonna have to do what you gotta do for your community as a regular person, no matter what your training is.
Okay. Right. I'm gonna go ahead and put this in the box because I got a couple of things I gotta say about what you said, but we got two other great people. I see they even brought the baby in here to talk in on this. I want them to get them words in there.
Yeah, that's my grandbaby. Okay, let's see who else got something. We're gonna come back around. Who got something?
Darius, you want to go, or I'll speak on it?
Go ahead.
So I'm in the middle between you two guys. So I have support for the cops, the police. A lot of my buddies I grew up with work in the police, right? But I'm also at the same time I side with the logic on, we should be looking after our own people. We should be policing our communities and taking care of each other, right? So like I just saw a video recently, like a clip. It was like a police officer pulling over another police officer for speeding, going like 80 and a 45, pulled him over and then like hesitated to get out of his car. Then finally he got out and he's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Dude, I'm pulling you over. Like, what are you doing?" He's like, "I'm heading into my job." He's like, "No, you're still under the law though." He's like, "You're going to arrest me?" He's like, "Yeah." And he's like, "No, you're not." And he just left, drove off. The cop on the radio is like, "Hey, we got a police officer running off." If you flip that script though, and that's an armed civilian, right? Which a cop is. That cop's pulling his gun and he's not getting back in his car and somebody's getting shot right there. Right. So I think, like you said, kind of like going back to the goon squad. I haven't heard that term before. That's a new one for me. But yeah, police looking out for each other, the cliques, the gangs, they do for sure. I can speak on from experience. Buddy that worked in the jail, they have to look out for each other, right? Because they're constantly criticized, they're scrutinized, they have the film on them. They can lose their job, right? But they're constantly tasked to do super hard things all the time where they have to make quick judgment calls. It's just a tough job altogether. It's a super tough job. Hats off to the guys that can do it well. But they're humans at the end of the day, right? They have shit that goes on at home. They have stuff that happens at the job. Like you're asking a lot of these people to perform like 100% of the time. So, but essentially, like I said, I'm somewhere in the middle with it. We should be looking for our communities, but at the same time, the cops should be held accountable. But there is, like you said, there's good cops out there that I know that do a really good job.
Okay. All right. Darius, what you got, Mike?
My thing is so growing up, we never really had issues. Well, I never really had issues with police. I grew up in a small country town, so everybody knew each other. The only time I heard about police was either growing up hearing about stuff that happened in other towns and cities that I never experienced, or state troopers that passed away on the side of the road or something like that happened close to us that was family to people that we knew of. And so I don't really have a side in any of it. I didn't know what goons was before this. I know that there's a history of police not doing their jobs properly, and then at the same time there's a history of police being attacked, and they're being vulnerable in a lot of situations too. So you got to look at that viewpoint. You got to put yourself in their shoes. Okay, how would I do my job in this area if I were a police officer? How would I do that? And you got to do that in every single faction of life. You know, you go to a food restaurant, you don't like the waiter. You got to put yourself in their shoes. It's the exact same thing. So you can't be so judgmental based off of what a few done. Yet there's thousands out there that's making lives a lot better for people everywhere. And so you can't just say fuck the police completely because there's good police officers out there. Just like,
Okay.
you know, there's good doctors out there.
Right.
So, you
Yep.
know, it's either way. You can go either way with this, honestly.
Okay.
You can argue about it for a long time, really.
Right. Okay. The numbers, going by the numbers, and we know the numbers are not always correct, but going by the numbers, blacks or people of color get pulled over more by the cops than any other race. And the cops are quick to draw their gun on a black person, maybe because they feel threatened or whatever. I don't know, and the numbers show that. You can look that up and see. But when I was asking, is there a goon squad in your state or in your town? In my personal opinion, I think there is one everywhere, but I don't think that like we was talking about, all cops are a part of it. Like the chief of police, he may not have known about that. But this, if you guys research that goon squad in Mississippi, you'll see that was going on for years. I mean, what do? The cops knocking at your door, bam, bam, knock at your fucking door. You let him in, he bum rush your ass, and he doing whatever. How do you defend against that? A lot of things has been stopping us right now to this day. Well, let me say this first. One guy, one podcast, one guy said he wished he'd go back to the old days when we were talking about cops. Well, I don't know about that because now, thanks to video, a lot of cops are being caught doing wrong. Back in the day, it wasn't. One back in the 80s, two cops whooped my brother ass for being black teenager. So, and Darius here, he has dreads, so they even, it's hard to say, but, they even take that as a threat, and I think some of them are so high on a power trip, but at the same time, you have some of them that's pretty cool, but you never know which one you're going to get when they stop you. It's like Forrest Gump say, life's like a box of chocolates. So when that cop stop you, you don't know what you're going to get. So I'm kind of, when the cops stop me, I'm like, oh, fuck. I told my girl and my kids, whatever, start recording. Get the camera out, get the video ready, because you may not see theirs. But for them to come up in there, breaking people's houses and misuse their authority, it's kind of fucked up. How do you defend against something like that from the cops? Anybody else? Y'all want to talk on the same thing or whatever? Arby, I know you had some other stuff to say too.
Yeah, I wanted to circle back around with the goon squad in Mississippi. One of the things, if you look back at the notes, is that when they took people, they didn't do that in their house. They actually had a warehouse that they would take them to. So when the guy got shot in the mouth, they were actually interrogating him, and one of the goons put the gun up to his jaw and shot straight through his jaw. Again, terrible thing, a whole bunch of oversight, but a couple of things about that is, number one, this was something that was known for a while.
Yes.
It had been going on for years. And the reason people didn't say anything is because the goon squad is just like thug life. Hey, you tell on me, something might happen to you in the streets. I don't know. And that's how they were able to do that. But going back to how do we prevent this? Like you said, you might get pulled over. You don't know what you get. You got the real bad ones, and then you got the good ones that's cool. One of the things from my experience that I found is that if we have the cops interacting with the neighborhood more often, you're not going to have a problem, because when they pull you over, you'll be like, oh, man, this Sergeant Brown, old lame ass, or, hey, this Sergeant Jones, they cool as hell. Let just be cool. Nothing going to happen. If we had more of that, I promise you wouldn't have as many problems. Because just like when we go to war, there's a reason why we call the enemy different names and we don't call them, Germans or Iraqis or Afghanis. Because if we can take apart the human factor from it and call them names, it's easier to put them down. That's just something that we've always done worldwide. If you can take a human from a name of being a human, it's an object. Any object can be shot. So we really got to get them into the communities. But the reason I want to jump on this real quick is because I want to circle back to what my man 7 Points of Bliss was talking about. And again, it is your absolute right, and I'll stand and fight for that, for you to say fuck the police. That's your belief. That's your standpoint. I'm not going to try to fight you on it. But what I will do is bring you some facts from my experience. There's been times where people actually police the neighborhood, and the neighborhood was screaming for the cops to come back. There's a couple of them that's out there that you can look up, but there's two I want you to check out. Number one, Detroit, Michigan. When everything happened in Detroit, everybody started pulling out. The neighborhood decided, hey, we don't need the cops. We're going to do it on our own accord. The problem with that is everybody's version of the law is not the same. And we ended up getting people killed, murdered, and raped because whoever was in power caused the shots. We had the same thing happen in New Orleans after Katrina. The cops were under fire, which they should have been because they was doing the wrong thing. People coming in there hunting them. They pulled out, and then the hood jokers came out there and started putting their own laws on people in the neighborhoods that made it dangerous. So when we talk about this, I'm always going to come from a point of government understanding where we need rules, laws, and regulations. But I'm going to take it a step further and say that everybody has to be held by the same standard. And I promise you, if you have cops being held, just like we just had up here 4 years ago, George Floyd happened up here. A couple of years before that, we had a couple of innocent people being shot and killed by cops. But when you hold them accountable for that, the neighborhood can rally behind that, and the cops. And the good cops can stand on business to go out there and take care of people. And the bad cops usually got to find themselves another job, because I'm not going to sit up here and say, oh, yeah, they'll be out of business forever, because we have unions and stuff that protect these cops. And when I say these, I mean the bad cops. Meanwhile, the good cops are left holding the bag, trying to keep everybody happy in the community and everybody happy in the police force.
Gotcha.
And I'm going to yield my time, like they say in Congress.
All right, so let's Selma hit on it, and then we'll see if anybody else don't have nothing. We'll move on. Selma, you want to touch up on that?
All I'm gonna say is this, man. People gotta die, bro. Either way it go, man. You know what I'm saying? Good people die all the time. Bad people need to start dying, bro. We letting these people stay in Congress for too long. We're not killing them. In other countries, and you know what? I think it was the same brother who was saying people don't be killing each other no more, bro. People still be killing each other. They just pay other people to kill them, bro. They still
it definitely wasn't me. It definitely wasn't me.
They still have assassinations. What you think? What you think Osama bin Laden and all that shit was about, man? They just sent people over there to kill that man. You know what I'm saying? What you think Omar Gaddafi was about, man? All this stuff is still cracking. They just killing the people that they want to kill. And the thing is, American people need to get into their mind who need to die, and then they'll start understanding that people are living in fear instead of living in action. You know what I mean? And then once we get it together and we start to understand who needs to die, we can make our communities better. We're too afraid to kill evil people, but the evil people gonna keep killing our good people. Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, you know what I'm saying? All these people who died trying to do good things that were killed by bad people, and none of the bad people have died. Motherfuckers still walking around and shit.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? So when are we gonna get it together? Sometimes to make good shit move around, you got to do some bad shit to make it happen. We study letting the bad people take over our communities. If we move together as a community and got these people out of our community with the drugs, I understand you respect the government, but listen, regular people ain't bringing drugs and guns into our community. They not doing that shit. They don't have the resources. How are the drugs getting in the country, dog?
Are you sure about that? Maybe the country, but are you sure about that? Because I can show you a couple places on the south side of Chicago that I can guarantee you that belt line's 55 and 57.
Who allowing it?
To the south side.
Who allowing it?
It's not who's allowing it. It's who's making money off of it.
That's what I'm saying. Who allowing it? If you making money off of it, you allowing that shit to happen because you're getting a profit. If the government not getting a cut is illegal, look at this. Not even 100 years ago, alcohol was illegal until they taxed that shit. Weed was just illegal until they could tax that shit. The government is part of the problem. You know what I'm saying? Until you knocking out motherfuckers and putting righteous people. See, listen, bro, I could go with the government if there was righteous people in there. How about we get out all the bad motherfuckers and put good people in the government? And then I wouldn't have a problem with the government at all. Or police.
Okay. I'm going to give myself a shameless plug. I'm one of the good people in the government. If you want me to be your damn president, vote for me. 2028, because I ain't trying to mess with 2024. But if you can tell me that there's no bad people in the community, there's no bad people that have ill will to the people in said communities, maybe we can talk about that. But I've been mugged too many times to say that I feel okay without the cops.
And that's what I'm telling you. Those people have to die. You got to stop being soft, dog. We got to pop them off, bro. Lay them down on the ground, headshot them. But that's just how it's got to go if you want to make your community better, bro. When you dealing with cancer, you know what I'm saying? You got to cut that shit out. And that's the same way with the bullshit. We study letting these bad motherfuckers go to jail. It's like Batman. Batman beat up all his villains and send them to jail so they can get out and kill more people. Why? Why you not Xing them out, dog? Because the bad guys is going to kill good people. We study letting these people come back into the communities instead of just acing them, bro. Let them start over like a video game, man. They'll get it right their next life.
So some people need to die, but are you saying that nobody can be reformed?
It's people can be reformed, but if your ass just keep doing the bullshit, you can't be, bro.
Damn. Dyson, what you got?
Man, I'm thinking all sorts of different things. I'm thinking biblical type thoughts right now. I mean, in the same sense, you know, what is confusing.
Did God not destroy the world 2 times already because motherfuckers couldn't get their act together? Think about it like that. Don't nobody judge God for bringing rapture.
Damn.
Essentially, we as humans, given the chance, will deem what is right and wrong in our own eyes. And like we said, that's subjective. How do we scale it? How do we rank it? Right? And more in a biblical sense that's why God came into play it was an ultimate authority to decide what was right, what was wrong, and how to judge it based upon what was done. Right? Given the opportunity with the humans, like, well, you stole something from me, I'm going to kill you now because you're bad. Right? So without this kind of like governing scale in place, which we need as humans, right, we'll just run rampant with it. You know, so I don't know. It's you're extreme with it.
If you want the world to be better quicker, you gotta hit extremes because
I don't know if we need to be doing headshots in the streets though. I don't know if we need to be doing that.
Hey man, I say the same thing. If your kid go shoot up a mall, would you not rather have to kill your own child or you want the government to kill your child? I'd rather have to kill. I created them.
Arby Baker 2028, y'all. I got y'all. I got y'all.
Right, Darius, what you got on there before we move on to the next one?
I'm good. I ain't got nothing.
All right. Well, I will just touch on a couple of things. I agree with where it was said. I think Arby said something about I call them beat cops to get the cops out in the community because the cops are just known to be bad, but a lot of them are lazy and fat, don't want to do shit but drive around, you know, and then they want to go to the kindergarten schools and play all big hero and stuff like that. But then later on, here they are throwing somebody down to the ground. And I think that, you know, they go after the cop sometime for like, I forgot that cop name to put his knee on that, on what's his name neck. But those guys are trained to do this. They're trained to. So my point is, I'll just make it so I don't want to talk too long so we can move to something else. Is we need to go start at getting to some of the trainers that's training these cops to put your knee on their neck and put you in these chokeholds where you can't breathe and stuff like that. You know, those guys, the average person don't go up in there knowing that shit. They go through that academy, I'm assuming, and they taught these procedures or these things like that. And I think in some states they banned in certain rules and certain things. I think in Colleen, maybe in New York, they banned that no knock because they kicking in doors and basically shoot motherfuckers. Just to touch on that, and then 7 Points talked about basically eye for an eye. in other countries, their rules and law is a lot stricter. I think, Arvin, you may know better than I do, than what we have here in the United States. If it was more of a eye for an eye, but maybe through the justice system, would the crimes and the be so violent, so to speak, here in the United States as they are? But then again, they just had a shooting over in Russia in in one of the movie theaters and somewhere else. But I'm just gonna end it like this on here. Some countries and some states have not states. Some countries have stricter laws. Does that work? Does it help? I don't know. You rape somebody, they cut your dick off. That make you think twice about raping somebody. You shoot somebody, then they put your ass for the squad. I don't know, but I just know here in the United States, it's kind of fucked up. I ended on that note, unless somebody wanted to touch you real quick on something before we move to somebody else.
Just clean up a few things, because unfortunately, the murder of George Floyd happened here in Minnesota, in Minneapolis, and the murderer was a bad cop named Derek Chauvin. Yeah. And the problem with that was he was doing something that they already deemed as illegal for the length of time that he did it. And the other 3 cops that went to jail too, they went to jail because they didn't stop him. And the only reason they didn't stop him was because Derek Chauvin was the senior cop on the scene and they had to listen to him. And these are the things when I said we got to put those rules in place and make sure everybody's following it to stop people from dying. So I'm not going to go too deep into it. I'm just going to end with 2 things. Number 1, no indiscriminate killing, because they got a lot of people out there waiting for that to happen on both sides. And number 2, if they don't get their shit together in America, y'all vote for Baker 2028. I got you. I'm only going to do 4 years.
Hey, man. Hey, did y'all hear that story about the one police officer that killed that young boy? And then the father of that young boy slid up on the police officer's daughter and killed her?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that. That was fucked up.
Yeah, that's how it should be. Motherfuckers that think twice about killing your shit.
Hey, I'm gonna put it. Go ahead, Darius. I'm sorry. Go ahead, brother.
Then that same guy whose son died, after he did it to that police officer's daughter, he said it's eye for an eye, and he waited for the police to come get him.
I respect
that same cop who killed his son, he went years later and killed his daughter. Eye for an eye.
Hey man, if I was that dude, I wouldn't even stopped at his door. I would just took the whole family out.
Damn.
So what makes you not evil doing that?
But why not go for the cop? What makes you go for the daughter instead of the cop?
Darius, my man.
What made him go for the son?
That's true too. Well, the son might have, violated a traffic law, or he might have had a gun on him, or we don't know. Like, there's a reason he got pulled over, I'm sure.
I mean, I'm just
being
saying,
black, maybe.
Yeah, that too.
It's been proven, but I don't know.
I'm only human, so I'm gonna put it like this: if somebody kills my son or daughter, I don't want to kill their kid. What? I don't even want to fight with their mother or brother. I want that motherfucker.
I like that too.
I try to stay out of the violent stuff. I try to stay, semi PC as much as military can be. But when it comes down to taking an innocent life, I am totally against it. Because the thing I think about that young girl that was murdered for the sins of her father, what if she was an ally to the black community
and supported it?
What if she was the one that didn't support anything her dad did, and now she's gone because of eye for eye? And this goes right back into the cop thing. There are so many cops that do bad, but never get killed. You know who gets killed? That good fucking cop that is spending their last second on earth trying to take care of civilians they don't know. Yeah. So when we get into this, I mean, we can talk and joke about it, but I'm dead serious about people being held accountable for what they did. Like when Derek Chauvin killed George Floyd, I didn't want another cop to die. I didn't want another cop to suffer. I wanted him. Yeah. That's my focus.
And his ass did, because they jacked his ass and cut him up while he's locked up in prison.
Oh yeah, they poked him. They poked him real good.
Yeah.
Got all kind of wind up in that body.
Right. So I see we have a couple of viewers out there watching. Viewers, if you checking us out from anywhere, drop a
What's up,
comment.
viewers?
Let us know. We appreciate you guys watching. I'm gonna come down here and slide down to Mr. Slice and Dice to see what he got on our next little topic. What you got, Dice? If you don't have nothing, we'll keep it rolling.
I'm tempted to keep it rolling. I was kind of spinning up on something to do with terrorists and how the U.S. handles these terrorist groups, and if we should stop doing what we're doing.
So that's what you're coming at us with?
I know Orvie would probably have something to say about it, but I've been thinking about it. I was watching a podcast yesterday with one of the CIA targeters. Her whole job was to hunt down and target these terrorist groups to find them and kill them. I just sent out a CIA hit squad or Delta or whatever. And I'm just thinking, because the war recently ended in the 20 years we were over there, seemed pointless, right? These people just keep coming out of nowhere. They're pissed you're over there in their land, man. They don't want you there. So again, I'm not fully knowledgeable on it. Of course, it's a very difficult subject to understand. There's religion mixed into it. It's their culture over there as well. It's very, very different from America. But are we doing the right thing? Because in my mind, it's like these people are just pissed off because we keep coming over there and just knocking them.
Okay, I want to speak on that and make sure that everybody understands I do not speak for the government whatsoever. Even though I was over there in Iraq in uniform and out, these are the opinions of probably your next president in 2028, RVB Baker Jr.
All right,
and this is what I have to say about that. When we go over there to help people, we should be keeping our promise. And what I mean by that is if we go over there and we say, hey, y'all got a bad person over here, we're going to come over here and help y'all take them out. We're going to take out some too. But in return, we're going to help y'all build this utopia like America. We need to stand on business on that. Because the places that we go, we say that shit, and as soon as we get what we want, we moonwalk out of there, and then it falls down. Iraq is a perfect example of that. We went over there. We told them what we were going to do. We got them over there. We did not kill their leader. We handed the leader back over there to them to hang them. Mm-hmm. But we're supposed to help build their infrastructure. And when we talk about governments, there's different factors of government. The military, we were all in. We were there. We were making things happen. We was taking care of them. Politics got in the way, and they were like, well, if this makes this politic branch look good, then we're not going to be for it. We're going to fight back and forth, and the best thing to do is just come out and come home. This is how we had groups like ISIS form out of the blue. You cannot fire a country's whole military and not expect them to come back for some get back if you don't hold your words true. So if you look at anything that we've been involved with, things went left when we left. And I'm not doing that as a plug. I'm just looking at that as history. If we would have stayed our ground to make things like we promised when we first got over there, Cuba's included in that shit, because I was just looking at something on Cuba, things would be totally different. So just like we were talking about the cops, we got to do the same thing when we get involved with these other countries. We got to mean our word. And I'm going to leave on this, because when you were saying that, Dice, the thing I was thinking about wasn't Iraq, and it wasn't even Bosnia. The thing I was thinking about is what's going on in Gaza right now and Israel. The shit that Israel's doing is fucking criminal. Even people in Israel are saying, yo, enough is enough. Gaza is being decimated, and America, we're supposed to be standing as the guiding light of principle. We're saying, okay, don't do this again, or we're not going to be happy with you. And they keep doing it. They keep going even further and further. If we were to keep our promise and do what we said we were going to do, I don't think we'd have 40,000 women and children dead over there and a whole country decimated because Israel wants it in the first place. Again, speaking for me, not speaking for the government or the military.
Seven? Darius? Somebody?
Hey, man, how the fuck is America going to fuck with anybody else shit? They can't even get their shit together. Shit is fucked up over here, man. You know what I'm saying? And we trying to go over there and mind other people's business and shit, talking about some... We not even righteous ourselves. Over here, man, motherfuckers is killing their own people and shit. The government doing all kind of obsidious shit to us, bro. Putting shit in our water, our food, all that shit. And they think they gonna go over there and do some justice for other motherfuckers who they feel like is lesser. Stop it, man. That's crazy.
All right, Darius.
Um, whatever they doing overseas is, whatever they have going overseas. Really, like, I don't, the CIA and the military, they're going to do their own things overseas. When they left Iraq, they left all that millions of dollars of equipment over there, and now what's going on with all that equipment over there now? And so now those people that we left that equipment to, are they utilizing those helicopters, guns, and whatever that the CIA are sending people out to for? And they're probably, what's going on? I don't know. I didn't do enough research on it myself. I'm just not hearing these questions myself now, but that's what I got. I don't really know, what they have at task, what's going on besides some other stuff that's going on right now. So that's all I got on it.
Okay, now I know Dyson was talking about the terrorist groups and all that stuff like that that's forming everywhere. I mean, after we didn't left out Iraq, Afghanistan, whatever. Now other terrorist groups then took over. Once you kill one leader, then you have the next leader that steps up. America leaves, and then they start forming whatever. But this is one of my things. I just threw that out as when you get to when Ari was talking about Israel and Hamas. I don't understand the fact that Hamas started this war by kidnapping all these people and still have some of them detained or whatever. So then Israel comes in there and they start regulating. They start probably doing overkill, I'm assuming, because there's been a lot of protests about that. Bombing, shooting, doing. But what I don't hear hardly about is the Hamas. I hear about how Israel is doing this. The U.S. is supporting Israel, but I don't hear about too much, but a little bit about the prisoners that Hamas come over here and all of the people that they gunned down and that they shot in that open field. And I mean, it's almost like they're making Hamas them seem like they're the heroes and Israel's the bad guy. So I don't really understand how that works, but maybe you can shed something on that.
Yeah, I want to tap into that because this is where the fog of war gets ugly. It's easy to simplify Hamas versus Israel. First and foremost, Hamas is a fucking terrorist group. The shit that they did to Israel and done before is unforgivable. But Israel is not innocent either. Now, if we take the history all the way back to the end of World War II, Israel didn't even exist until then. Right. And America took Israel and made it a country in Palestine. That was not free space. That was Palestine shit. And they didn't stop there. Israel got over there and started making settlements and started spreading out, trying to push the Palestinians out. But the problem is more than just a simple yes, no answer. First of all, Hamas is fucked up. The shit that Hamas done and keep doing at the punishment of their people is terrible. They shouldn't be in there. But Israel is not some innocent bystander. They are fucking bullies. First of all, they made Palestine a place where they can't even move around their own country because Israel got all that shit on lock. They can't even come and be treated as equals when they come work as Israel, because Israel treats the Palestinians like some white people treat black people here in America. And it's even worse because they got total control of where they live at. The other thing that I want people to think about when we think about what's going on with Israel and Palestine with Hamas fucking shit up is what was going on before Hamas came over. Well, Netanyahu was about to come up on some charges. Wow. And as protective as Israel is of their borders and abroad, how in the absolute fuck did Hamas come into Israel, have time to kill people, have time to get people, and take them back out of there unless they were allowed to come in there? So nobody's really answering that question because too many people are dying right now. But the bottom line up front, and the UN just posted something, Both Hamas and Israel are guilty of war crimes. And the biggest issue with this, the innocent Israelis and the innocent Palestinians are fucking dying because of these knuckleheads.
Right. So it's conspiracy right there going on between that shit.
Oh,
I didn't know he was about come up on charges. Benjamin Netanyahu was about to come
man,
up on charges.
Netanyahu been a fuck up since he got up in there, man. And those are not conspiracies. That's fact. You can look that shit up.
Yeah. I see the look on your face, Selby. Come on with it.
I'm confused, bro. How many people think America is terrorist, man? How many people over in those other countries think America doing heinous shit to other people like that, though? America just got caught up giving Ukraine and shit weapons to shoot at Russia and shit. Russia got motherfucking nuclear submarines off the coast of Florida and shit right now, off some bullshit that motherfuckers is underhandedly doing, selling niggas weapons to do some dirty shit. So that's what I'm saying. Like, America not good. You know what I'm saying? Some of the people here, we shouldn't be represented by this government at all because it's not in our best interest at all. They take our motherfucking, they tax us for everything we do. They take our money, make these weapons, and hurt innocent people, bro. They don't stay out of other motherfuckers' businesses, and they doing all kind of heinous shit over there to other people, and they making it seem like they innocent. But America dirty as fuck. The government dirty. All these alphabet gangs out here doing weird ass shit, and these other people in these other countries looking at us like it's us, and it's not the people. The government don't represent us. This is a bunch of weird ass niggas in offices abducting children and doing freaky shit.
Now you know I'm gonna push back on that. You know I'm gonna push back on that.
Gonna push back on the truth. Everybody out there on Epstein Island having pizza parties.
Hey, look, I'm gonna go ahead and say this because it's true. America is a bully. America has done some shitty shit, and we continue to do shit. But to say that we're terrible and we don't need, there's a reason why people are trying their best to come to America, not other countries. Because as fucked up as we are, we better than the motherfuckers.
It's an illusion.
No, it's not an illusion when people are trying their best to get over here. See, when you're in America, it's easier to say it's an illusion because you're in it. But when you're somebody that's making $14 a month, looking at America, even our ghettos is ghetto fabulous to them because these people are barely surviving and they looking at us as a light. Now, when we get involved with some of these other countries that we shouldn't be getting involved with, it's not always because we stuck our nose in business. They come to us and they want to make a deal with the devil. Hey, can you come over here and do this? We'll give you something. And America is capitalist. We're nothing else but capitalist. We're going to look for the opportunity to make something like, yeah, you got something for us? Okay, go ahead and sign this paper and we'll be there. We got you. So I'm not saying that America is perfect, but by no means are we the worst motherfuckers on the planet. We still top shelf. And I put that on everybody out there because I have yet to see an exodus out of America to any other country. And I don't hate those countries. Matter of fact, there's a couple of countries I love, like Germany. Love them motherfuckers. Canada got some sweet stuff going over there. Mexico, they got some problems, but they got some good stuff. But you know what they don't have? The good old US of fucking A, that you can come over here and start as a ditch digger and become a millionaire because you came up with some new faddish gift or you did a TikTok dance that everybody want to shake their ass to. So I'll take that. We're not the best. We're some troublemakers, but we're the best of the bunch, bar none, to any country, period.
The illusion of money is the only thing that keep motherfuckers feeling secure like that, dog. Once the American dollar fall to shit, you're gonna be singing a different story. I guarantee it.
All right, boy.
It's going down as we speak. Just pay attention to the price of gold and silver. That's all you gotta do.
See, Dyson, we're gonna have to borrow your ass from starting shit because you didn't start some shit. You can't even say nothing else. You banned. No.
Man, Orby, man, he makes you feel like a good patriot, man. You don't get that too often, man. I mean, nowadays, like, people, hate on America, of course, and think it's a shithole, this, that. But you made a good point. Like, I got buddies from China that come from Colombia, and I'm like, Oh, dude, I'll tell him, I'm like, dude, it seems amazing in Colombia. He's like, no, it's not. Like, dude, our government's corrupt as hell. They kill our people. Like, they do all sorts of shit to us. So I was like, trying to look at the good things, like how these Americans think, you know, but it's like, it's not perfect, but he's right. Like, it is the best of the bunch, you know,
Bro.
so.
And I'm not saying that as a big wave flagging patriot, because I was born on the south side of Chicago. I'm the oldest of 8 kids raised by a single parent, my mom, and joined the Army at 18. Luckily, I didn't die in the Army. I got to see all kinds of countries 20 years, and my life got significantly better because of the opportunity that was afforded to me. Military life's not for everybody, but I will tell you this. Because of the military, I got to see actual countries, actual places, how they live, and that's not on CNN or Fox. And every last one of them, even the ones like when I was in Germany and they had this whole thing about death to Bush, and I was like, yo, y'all trying to kill all the Americans? And they're like, no, just that motherfucker and a couple other y'all fucked up. But other than that, we love America. Can we come with you? America is pretty much the guiding light on how life can be if you're allowed to do extra. A lot of countries, you're not allowed to do extra. If you're born poor, you got to work in that caste system and you're going to die poor. If you're rich, you're not supposed to associate with the other motherfuckers. You have a certain lifestyle that you're going to live and you're going to stay until you die. And what happens is they find out what's going on in America and they're like, America's got a lot of shootings. They got racism. They got number 45 Agent Orange. But them motherfuckers got some freedom like a motherfucker. 7-Eleven is open after 11. Man, I'm carrying my ass over there. You can do that. I'm going to give you one other example of how America is so great on a low level. In Germany, they have a welfare system, great welfare system, better than ours. But if you're on welfare in Germany, guess what? You cannot own a car. You cannot own more than 3 fucking TVs, depending on where you're at. Some of them, you can only own 1. And they regulate every fucking thing you do. Not because you're a bad person, but because the government's paying for you. So, motherfucker, you don't get nothing. Now, let's look at welfare in America. And I'm not telling you what I heard. I'm telling you what I saw. I've been in the hood where motherfuckers come out there with Ferraris. I've been in the hood where motherfuckers lace eat steak every night. And nobody's stopping them from doing shit. America's great, y'all. I'm telling y'all. You go outside the gates of the USA, the 48, we're the Dendadas. Everybody love us, man. I mean, I'm sorry that people that's here hate us because you got a reason. We could be better. So I'm not going to throw you under the bus and say, hey, you got it wrong. America's No, America is fucked up because with all the greatness we have, we still have a level of achievement where we can be the motherfuckers. And that's what we need to do. Not work on where we at right now. What we trying to get at? Because guess what? All those other countries that's looking at us, they cheering for us to get better. They want this.
All right.
Hey man,
Yeah.
I like the shit you be saying, but I'm gonna tell you this. Everything America based on is a fucking illusion. You talking about some TVs and 7-Eleven, that's all the shit that's fucking us up. You know what I'm saying? They had an island out there that was untouched by modern civilization. Motherfuckers seen a drone come out there, they was shooting arrows and spears at that motherfucker. Do you think them motherfucking people think they was living in poverty? They could be eating steak every night, killing cows themselves. People only know what you gonna give them, and other people, when you live in bad and you depressed and you sad and you ain't got shit to look forward to, yeah, you gonna look at America like this the dream. Most motherfuckers don't even realize they free until you become in prison. You come over here and get one of these motherfucking state IDs or one of these motherfucking social security numbers, and you find out you can't leave this bitch. You know what I'm saying? They'll hold you down. People don't know what freedom is. I don't ride with the government because the government is the motherfuckers making us slaves with all that bullshit thought that we need all this bullshit to begin with to be happy. We don't. You know what I'm saying? You take money away and motherfuckers will see what true happiness is because now they got to look within. Motherfuckers out here with millions of dollars don't even know who they are, killing themselves, buying liquor, drugs, all that shit. And the same thing when it comes to the poor people. We looking at the rich motherfuckers trying to mock them and live like them, and they not even living good. We are dying off this whole mentality that money is everything. You know what I'm saying? Money don't buy you happiness. You can be the saddest motherfucker in the world and have all the look at Elon Musk. That nigga ain't happy. That motherfucker done been through like 5 wives. This nigga can't even find nobody to love him right. Money ain't it. And that's the only thing that America can give you is an illusion of money when they print it and put motherfuckers more and more and more in debt. That's what I'm trying to tell you, bro. Motherfuckers about to see America not that. And they was really more free where they was at. Yeah, you might not have a lot, but just because you don't have a lot don't mean your ass ain't free. You just need to know how to make shit. It's kids in Africa making goddamn top tier technology out of garbage, dog. I'm talking about TVs that run off goddamn radio frequencies, don't need no electricity type shit. And they making this out of garbage. You think they give a fuck about wealth right now? These niggas out here solving problems from generations ago. That's in their DNA that they understand. Like, bro, I came in with a mission. It ain't always about money. It's about solving problems. And that's true wealth. When you come in with knowledge like that, though. People coming to America, they just want money. They want the American dream. A White House and a picket fence and a dog and a white woman type shit. You know what I'm saying? That shit don't mean anything because when you get it, that white bitch gonna take all your shit. That's what these motherfucking athletes finding out. So it's like this whole thing is a fucking illusion. It's about to cave in on itself, bro. And people need to start understanding that while they leaving their country and they leaving their people. You know what I'm saying? America not gonna love you like your people gonna love you. Fuck the governments all over the world. It's not just America. All this shit corrupt because it's all based off money. If we drop the money and we live off the land, we'll be the bro. This planet will be better, bro. But we over here fucking our oceans up off money. We over here motherfucking doing all type of shit to the atmosphere off of money. Launching trash into space off money. It's gotten so bad. These rich motherfuckers trying to get off. You talking about America? These niggas trying to go to Mars.
To let them. I just want to say this. I agree that money is not the answer to everything. I agree that people should learn to live off the land, but it's an individual choice. Because I'm going to tell you right now, even though I love the land and stuff, I still want me a Porsche 911. I don't want to be walking around in a fucking loincloth. I want to motherfucking live that opulent life. I want that money because I'm a true up capitalist. That's just who I am. Now, as far as people not living off the money and working off the land and stuff, I invite you to go check out West Virginia and Kentucky. They got some places over there where motherfuckers not even using the internet. They might have trailer homes in there, but they really are living that life. And if that's what you want, we got pockets in America where you could do that. R.V. Baker, President-elect 2028, I want the opulent stuff. I want to walk around in nice sandals. I want my kids to have nice stuff. Because when we talk about the illusion, I think for myself, the illusion is that money will make you somehow a better person. For me, I'm already a better person. I just need the money to fucking floss on it. I'm going to be the same motherfucker.
You can make that shit yourself if you learn how to make it. Niggas was making linen and shit by hand.
I'm not making my own drawers, bro. I'm not making my own drawers. That's why I draw a line there. I know how to make some shorts. I ain't making my own drawers, man. I'm buying them motherfuckers.
But that's what I'm saying. How can you expect this country not to poison you? You wearing motherfucking shit that's giving you microplastic in your bloodstream right now, dog. You could be making your own 100% cotton drawers. You can't even find 100% cotton socks in the damn store no more, dog. And if you find it on the internet, that shit gonna cost you damn near $90 for a pack.
Yeah.
If you knew how to make this shit yourself, not only could you be making more money, you could be selling this shit. And then your kids can have that knowledge. It's about passing the knowledge on to the next generation. It's not just about you right now. Yeah, you can floss, but if your kids knew how to make motherfucking 100% leather sandals right now, out of the greatest motherfucking stuff, right? Why wouldn't you still be flossing? You
just proved my point, man. You're talking about capitalism 101. You just said about the kids taking these leather shoes and selling them. You don't think they gonna sell them for the price of Yeezys once they see nobody else can make it? Bro, you're talking the American way, so thank you. You're talking the American way. But the thing is, you gotta get the balance right, bro.
You don't have to do it for money. You could be out there bartering with the shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you still got to think different. A motherfucker can make some sandals and trade it with a nigga for 100 tomatoes. It don't got to be about no money.
if they like tomatoes.
It could be for whatever. It could be for whatever.
Let me see. That's the thing with barbershop talk. We just get in here and chop this shit up, and we started out with terrorists, and we start talking about some goddamn tomatoes. So you just don't never know where that barbershop talk gonna go. I
From
think my
terrorists
viewers
to tomatoes.
I thank all the viewers out there for chiming in. And hey, feel free to drop some comments, Mr. Rice. We see you hitting us on up. I will say this: 7 points. When you said something and about how once you get or start getting that life or getting a whole bunch of shit or something, I forgot exactly, that the white woman gonna come and take it. But Aubrey is big on prenup, so he'd have probably already had a prenup signed because he talked about him in a previous podcast. So you can still keep your shit. So she gonna leave with what she came with.
That's for any color woman. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. So and 7, when you was talking about the chemicals that's in the material, I saw that on a news deal a while back on 60 Minutes or some shit. The cars, the chemicals that's in that leather, the chemicals that's in this and that. It's so much stuff that's seeping into our bodies and shit like that right now that we don't even really fucking know. So not only do we have to worry about the shit that we're eating that's full of all kind of shit, we have to worry about what we have on our body that's not even real, that has the chemicals in it. But I'm going to yield back on that because I just want to make sure everybody get a topic in. So 7, I'm going to come back to you. Arvin, you ain't got to go yet, right?
No, I'm still good. Matter of fact, I usually have an hour hit, but my wife with the prenup, she's not here right now, so we can keep it rolling.
Okay, all right. Well, let me see what 7 got. I'm going to hit Arvin and then Darius. If you got a topic, I'm going to come to you. But 7, I know you keep something in the bag. Bring that shit.
Man, I want to actually ask y'all opinion on what y'all feel about Russia having this nuclear submarine off the coast of Florida, man.
See, I did not know that.
Yeah, right there in Havana Bay.
I mean, it's fair. Granted, a lot of their military sites in Russia was attacked with American missiles.
Yep.
So then it's just like, hey, you're going to do this to us. All right, we got some stuff on deck if you want to do it again. So now we as American people, we've never had anything on our land happen before. If I'm not mistaken, besides, the Havana and Cuba or Hawaii. What's the other part?
Pearl Harbor.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Pearl Harbor. It wasn't in the Continental 48.
Yeah, but nothing in the Continental 48. So then it's just the question is how do we as people adjust to warfare inside the 48? How does that even work? How do schools go on? How do people move on with their everyday lives? Do everybody's lives change? How does that work? How you, from a military standpoint, Mr. Baker?
Yeah, President 2028. I'm gonna stick with that.
President
Yeah.
2028, huh?
Yeah.
So how would you feel like, let's say, there's a full-blown same thing America did to Iraq and the previous people. What happens to us as people if there was an invasion? Tell me the steps. What exactly happens from a military standpoint?
Okay, I want to walk this back because I want to start with the submarine in Havana, and then we're going to talk about capabilities and protections. Number one, the submarine in Havana is kind of like comical to us in the military spectrum. There's a reason why you didn't see the president jumping up and saying, we got to make sure we're okay and stuff, because that submarine is a sitting fucking duck. If we can see it, we can shoot it. And that's not just in Cuba. This is worldwide. Those ICBMs, the intercontinental ballistic missiles, they're all over the United States. We don't broadcast that, but America is on that fuck around and find out tip. Everybody that is a superpower know you're not fucking with the 48. You're not. We got too much shit also in space, but on ground, that we could defend ourselves in a millisecond. This is why people can still go to school if they're doing their practices in Cuba. When North Korea start acting up, talking about what they're going to try to send to Washington, we laugh at that because we know every technology you got, we got shit that we tell y'all about that's better, and then there's the shit we don't tell you about. And we never gonna tell you about because we don't have to. All you have to know is if somebody wanted to do something, America is sitting on that wish a motherfucker would shit. And this is why we haven't had anybody attack us. And they will never attack us because the only way you can attack us and have a chance of making a mark is if we're going to end the world as we know it. We got way too much firepower and they have way too much to lose.
All right.
Another reason everybody wants to come to America. We got that fire, y'all.
Dyson, what you got on that? About that sub sitting out there, Seven talked about.
He's not wrong. I mean, of course, I agree with him. We don't. I mean, to me, I don't even care either. You know, because I'm under the assumption and the impression, like you said, like people aren't gonna. Everything's just kind of a game. You know what I mean? Like when you're dealing with America, Russia, China, even India, some of these bigger countries, it's just a game because I don't know if you guys. There was a movie. I forgot what it was called, but essentially it played out a nuclear war and what would happen. I think it was called War Games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, exactly. And essentially, nobody wins. Everybody just loses. So, and they know that too. It's like, if you launch your missiles, we launch ours. You're not going to hit all of ours. We're not going to hit all of yours. We're going to destroy the whole planet. You know, so everybody's smart enough to understand that they're not going to do that. You know, so everything's just kind of, silly and funny. You can park your sub here. We'll put ours out there. We got tons around Russia. I guarantee it. It's the same thing. They probably find them. They see them. They're not going to do anything about it. We won't do anything about theirs. If they want to do something, we'll do something. We're living good.
Bro, y'all out y'all mind. Y'all think these people going to destroy this planet, man. First rule of life is self-preservation. Motherfuckers ain't about to destroy no planet. Y'all crazy. Y'all think they about to nuke this bitch like that. Yeah, some people gonna die, but they ain't gonna destroy the whole planet, bro. They ain't off this bitch yet.
Aubrey Baker 2028.
Yeah, I'm here, man. Hey, before I get into my topic and bring it a little bit down from war, y'all remember them damn balloons?
Yeah.
Did shit happen, but balloons flew over and we just blew it up?
Yeah, but that's different from a nuclear submarine, dog. You're just not gonna shoot no fucking nuclear submarine, man. Off the coast of your shit, you just gonna shoot it.
Look, we have a way to disable and take that motherfucker out, and you won't see one mushroom. We have a way to put that motherfucker at the bottom of the ocean, and you won't know it was there in the first place. Trust and believe when I say we got the shit. Everybody knows. That's why they spy on us, man.
I'm gonna tell you what, too. I don't know what that damn gun was they were shooting when we was in Iraq. They shoot like 1 million fucking bullets a second.
Yeah.
I heard that motherfucker going off, man. And I mean,
that was the sound of freedom.
And I'm just saying, so I know that the U.S. probably has some shit. What you say, Seven?
He said that's the sound of freedom. I said that's the sound of a different type of slavery, though.
Hey, if that's gonna keep me up and the enemy down, I'm gonna take it. And I'm gonna tell you, those that we used to listen to over there at Wizzo, that was the sound of us being able to go home while everybody else went to Jesus.
Yeah.
So I'm with that all day. And I'm not saying we need to kill everybody, but look, if it's gonna be you trying to kill me versus me killing you, I think I should be the one to tell the story. That's all I'm saying. Let me tell your story of how you went valiantly.
You heard that shit. Whew. Boy, well, so I'm gonna tell y'all this here. Mr. Rice, we see you right there too, brother. I did not know about that sub sitting there, but at the same time, I know, listen to Arvy, that the U.S. has some shit, can take some shit out. So, I mean, I don't know about it. You know about it. You've been around more of the military than I. I mean, I just know for a fact that the U.S. has some shit that they don't even fucking tell you about. So.
Y'all think these other countries don't got stuff they ain't telling us about?
They got stuff. Hey, they got some stuff. And here's the thing. The spy system is so good that they've been able to figure out what we got, and we know what they got. And we try to play on who's got the best of the best. But again, this is at a level so high that nobody wants to even test that because it really means the end of the fucking world.
Yeah.
It's just that serious. And as much as they keep us talking about this fear, the thing that they fear most is missing out on that money. You can say what you want about the countries, but the ones that's doing the biggest are the ones that are profiteering the most. Look at China. The reason why China is moving like they moving is because America slipped up and didn't take advantage of those countries in Africa because they thought Africa was just going to play by their rules. China went up in there and China got them like this on that money.
Mm-hmm.
All this stuff that we do is about money. Anytime America gets involved with a war or something, it's about money. Because if it wasn't, we would be in Haiti right now. When's the last time you heard about America going to Haiti? People not talking about Haiti. People not talking about the Congo. They got a full-out war right fucking now. Nobody's talking about it. You know why? They ain't making no money. Israel's paying bills.
That's one thing that you'll have bipartisanship on is there's a war. Because it seems like the Republicans and Democrats, they're gonna agree on that because they're gonna get that bread. You know. All right, well, we talked about that thug sitting out there and like Seven saying, I'm sure that other countries have some shit that we don't know about, but I was just mainly pointing out about that sub y'all saying that's sitting out there that we can probably go on and do whatever the fuck we want with that motherfucker. But I don't know if the U.S. has stuff over sitting somewhere either. But one of our guys, Jason, talked about before on a podcast how the U.S. is a bully. They'll go over there and park a USS Eisenhower by whoever and tell them, motherfucker, you better not do shit or we gonna knock your fucking ass off or whatever. I don't remember exactly what, but he something to that effect. But just to switch it up a little bit so everybody can get a topic in. Presidential candidate 2028, Ari Baker, what you got for us?
Okay, speaking about my candidacy after these two old fools fight it out, the only reason I'm doing 4 years and not 8 years is because this political thing really is a game, and I just want to make some changes before I get up out of there. One of my big changes is for the homelessness, and you heard me talk about this a few times before, and I'm passionate about this because everywhere I go, especially the richer places like California and stuff, man, it is out of worldly how many people are homeless, and everybody that's homeless is not because they're mentally unstable or they want to be. There are people that were just one paycheck from missing rent and medical bill came up or a car was broke, and next thing you know, they out. So I want to change that. I want to change it by looking at giving people money. And I know people are like, wait a minute, you're a capitalist. What do you mean by giving them money? I got a plan for that because America's got a lot of fucking money. But the other thing is starting to build a platform to get them out of poverty. Because when I said America's got some things to do to get better, that's one of the things that we could do. And we don't have to spend a lot of money like they're proposing. And I'm going to give you one example of many that I have for the homeless. You know how the homeless are usually in an encampment at the corner somewhere where they have all the tents and stuff at, or they're under a bridge where all the stuff at. And meanwhile, we have areas that are like abandoned. What we need to do is have our National Guard element go in there, clear the areas that are abandoned, build up a tent city. And when I say a tent city, I'm not talking about any old kind of tent that they're using right now. I'm talking about military grade tents set up in grids with water and lighting and stuff, and have these people an option that if you want to be somewhere safe, we're not forcing you in the tent city. Mm-hmm. But if you and your kids are scared, y'all need somewhere to go, and you don't have money to get into a place and they don't have any fucking vouchers to put y'all in a hotel, y'all come over here. And when you come over here, we're going to give y'all an ID card. We're going to give y'all an actual tent that's for you, not to share with somebody. And you're going to have 24/7 security in this tent city. And while you're in this tent city, you're not just sitting there forever because there's a 3-tier process. You get in there, we start giving you training, budget training, and job search so we can get you out of this tent city to some type of hard structured living environment, whether it's renting in renting in an apartment complex or somebody's house. And then the third level, and I'm so sincere about this because it's going away rapidly, is ownership.
Mm-hmm.
They need to be able to have their own shit. If you look at America and what's happening today, the rich are playing in our face because they don't want anybody to own property. More and more, they're building all these apartment complexes, super nice pool and stuff, but nobody can't have their own shit. If you don't have your own shit, you're not building stuff. You're giving money away. If you had your own place, even if it was just like a 50-foot by 150-foot piece of property, you just started legacy property that when you die, that can go to your kids. Or if you're in a situation, you can actually sell it to better yourself or refinance it to get more money. You got something to build off of. If you look at people that's actually been able to maneuver in America, you could trace back to where they had property in their family and they were able to grow generational wealth off there. Right now, nobody's talking about generational wealth. Hell, my family didn't talk to me about generational wealth. I just happened to slip up on it. And when I looked at it, I was like, holy shit, why isn't everybody on it? So as somebody that can make a move on something, that's something that I wholeheartedly want to do, because in America, as rich as we are and all the superpower abilities that we have, nobody should ever be homeless in America. And I stand on that.
Right. All right. Comments, anybody from the panel? Derek?
Only real free people out here, man.
My question is, and it's probably going to be my question about my conversation is what do we do about the border? Okay, so what if you're here illegally and you're homeless? Do you still get that same help as if someone that was here that was a citizen and that was homeless, or that was a veteran that was homeless? Do they get the same help, or what's your stand on that?
That is a great question. Y'all get me prepared for presidential. Great question, sir, and I have an answer for you. When people come over here, they're going to get the same treatment, but not going to a city like Chicago or something. They're going to get that treatment at the border. We're going to have a tent city at the border. You don't just get to come in and we send you somewhere and hope that you come back, because that don't happen. What we're going to do is have a turnaround process, because when people come over here, they're really coming over here for a better life, and we can't afford to get everybody over here right now. But in Mexico, what we can do is have an agreement with them that if anybody comes across your border, you're going to help us take care of them till they go back to where they came from. So if they came from Mexico, that's an easy one. We process them, we let them back out of the gate in Mexico. But if they're coming from South America, if they're coming from Haiti, if they're coming from China, it's going to take a little while, and we shouldn't have to hold the bill on that.
Mm-hmm.
They need to chip in and send them back to where they came from. Same thing if they come through to Canada, because believe it or not, we have people jumping the border in Canada too. It's just cheaper to come through Mexico than it is in Canada. So I appreciate that question. I just want to add one more thing to that. I'm also going to buff up our military stance at the border, because what some people don't realize is whenever we put the military somewhere, that area comes up economically, because soldiers got to spend their money. Contractors got to spend that money. So I would be building military posts along those areas so they can actually have the man and woman power to take care of that. So our border would not look like it looks now, but it's not going to be a situation where you come in and you get to hang around America till we figure out what we want to do. It's going to be a quick turnaround time on that, and everything's going to happen in that border area.
All right. Gotcha. Let me touch on something Rice put right here. Homeless got bad when we forgot what family really means. I don't know on that, because I got some family I don't give a fuck about. You know, them motherfuckers don't support my podcast. They don't support shit I do. They don't support shit.
Man, you joking me, bro.
You know, so you know, I didn't already told my kids. Sorry about that, Ari. That when something happens to me, that it's some of them motherfuckers that I don't even want at my funeral. So I don't know when you know homeless got bad when we forgot what family really means, because and you may have a point. If I look way back further than when I was born because blacks had to stick together a little bit more, a little bit better or whatever than what's going on right today. But I'm gonna just before I pass it on to Seven, I think he had some or one of you guys is that it just some family I really just don't give a flying fuck about. And I'm gonna yield back that on there because I won't already choke it no damn more on my podcast and shit. Somebody dice. What y'all got on that?
Hey, I'll make a quick point that I got to roll out after this. It was good chatting with you guys tonight. Me and 7 Points of Bliss and Paul have talked about the homeless problem before.
Yeah.
I have compassion for the homeless. Again, every story is different with why these men and women are on the streets. Some I'm pretty sure 7 Points was saying they some of them want to be out there, like by choice want to be out there on the street. So my approach was being more practical with it, was instilling something like a trade to teach them something to bring them up that keeps them off the streets and gives them a gig. Right. Again, every situation is different and like not all are going to be all for that, but at least give them an opportunity. Don't just hand money or food or stuff like that or buy them a motel for a month. Yeah. Like give them an opportunity to learn a trade, learn something to sell, education, put them into free education, whatever it takes. Right. Like I was just looking up now, like kind of random with it, but MIT offers free online courses now. Harvard, all these big institutions are offering free education now. Anybody can go watch them right now. Anything you can learn on, so have these opportunities to provide them, to give them an opportunity to take care of themselves and give them generational wealth to build that they can pass on. So,
right. And the thing is, we have to get them to know about that information that's out there. So I don't know if that's like the veterans that's under the underpass over at in Austin, that may not know about that this program or that program. But I'm not sure that in Austin they had people going around churches, whatever, and feed them, and they was kind of bringing them up on that knowledge and stuff like that. But we have covered the homeless before. In 7, I believe I can recall him saying that sometimes they're the ones that's really free. They don't have to worry about taxes. They don't have to worry about this. They don't have to worry about nothing. But at the same time, some of them do want a better life. And I will say this here that kind of goes in there. I think we was in Austin. I don't remember where we were, but it was the Hispanics, and they were standing in the middle of the road, and they were selling water, and they were selling Gatorade. I respect that because they didn't took $5 or $10 that they may have made, and now they're flipping it, and they go buy this and whatever, trying to make some more money, as opposed to, and I hate to fucking say it, I got this black guy over here. You get him $5 in front of 7-Eleven, he go in there and buy him a fucking 40 ounce. Then he come back out and drink that motherfucker up, and boom. But you got these other guys that's creating some wealth and creating some income. I'll donate to those guys. I might not even want that $2 water, but guess what? I didn't pay $5 for a fucking bottle of water at a sports event. And if you go to Jerry World, hell, a bottle of water probably costs you $12. So that guy's probably selling that water for $2 out there in that fucking hot sun, or they selling flowers, they selling fruit cups. They trying to create something for them and their family as opposed to just a handout. But Arby, you're right. I mean, homeless, the 3-tier deal, we've talked about that a lot. I hate the most, and I'll leave back on this, is that when there's a veteran out there that's homeless. I've never been in the military. I really hate anyone that's out there homeless because there's different circumstances that put people out there homeless. With the rate going up, COVID came along, put a lot of people out. But it really gets me about the military homeless veterans out there. But I'm going to yield back on my time for somebody else to talk.
Well, I want to jump in real quick. Oh, who wanted to say something? I'm sorry.
I was gonna say I'm gonna roll out now. You guys keep chopping it up.
Hey, nice.
Gotta hit it. So
hey, nice meeting you, man. Look forward to having you back again, bro.
Hey, man, I just want to say I gotta slide out too.
Oh, okay. You gotta go. Okay.
Oh, everybody bouncing. What time?
All right, go ahead, then. We'll be us 3 right here, then. Okay, appreciate you guys, man.
All right, we'll see you guys.
All right.
Oh, Sharita said that was in New York where we saw those, yeah, selling all that stuff. But come on, Arby, what you got?
Yeah, what I was going to say is I want to circle back to the thing about family. It might not be family as our individuals' families, but if we look at it as what we, the people of the United States of America, say family is, if this is what we believe, we should be doing more to take care of family. And
Mm-hmm.
this is why I'm so upset with what's going on in America with the homelessness, because we have all these politicians talking about, yeah, we want to take care of kids, want to do this, but they would turn their nose up to the homeless. Now, when we talk about the military, that's near and dear to my heart, because I think anybody that served, whether they served for a couple of months and got kicked out, or somebody that was a lifer like me,
Mm-hmm.
they should never have to go and beg for a place to stay. Now, that's different than asking.
Yeah.
A lot of veterans, even myself, they put us through the gauntlet to prove that we serve the country, and then they just want to give us little tits and bids, and nobody wants to give us money to make it better for ourselves because they feel like, we're disposable. Anybody that served, they should be able to go to any government entity and say, hey, I'm a former service member, I need help, and they should give it to them. Now, have them fill out paper, give them that, because they earned that. Now, as far as civilians, I still don't think they should jump through all kind of paper too, but I keep them separate from the military, because the military, you've given something. You basically gave a blank check of your life when you serve. You can't get that back. Civilians, if we care about America as the United States of America, we should be rallying around to make sure nobody's out there homeless that doesn't want to be homeless. And there's no reason why we can't, because we give money out all the time.
All the time. Yeah.
It's just about adjusting fire for it. And this is why when I'm half joking about running for president, but I'm serious. If I did run for president, I wouldn't look for an 8-year deal, because every president that gets in there talks about what they're going to do in 8 years. That just lets me know you cut a deal with somebody to become a president. I want to be straight with the people and say this: America, don't look for me to do more than 4 years, because I'm coming in here and everything I said, I'm going to stand on business and then I'm going to fucking leave.
Right.
That's how I feel about it.
I got you. Hell yeah. Darius, what you got, man? You got something to ride on that with?
Yeah, I'll touch a little bit more on the family thing. And the only time you really see family, and I've seen this growing up too, is you're either at a funeral or a wedding. And so, like, my question is why can't, family be around more? Like, why can't family time be on the weekends? Like, what are people really doing on the weekends besides I work on the weekends? But anyway, why can't there be more family time, throughout the year rather than just, holidays and, bad things happening? Because, people can make time to do things, and why not make time to be around family and have good times, go somewhere, have a cookout, do all these things and catch up with each other, because at the end of the day, you are family. So, like, I just wish it was better that way. I just wish things would be that way. That's all.
Right.
That's all I got.
Yeah. And what? Go ahead, Ari.
I was just going to say this. This is some of the lessons learned that we can get from other countries, because every family is different. But from what I've noticed is that in America, one or both parents got to work so damn hard. When they get to the weekend, they just want to fucking decompress. And if they take days, or it's still working. And if they would take time off to do this, because we just had a family reunion, we just started trying to connect and stuff, and it was great for us, but it was hard for people to make that time. This is when America needs to look at other countries and see what they're doing, their best practice. If you go to Germany, and I picked Germany because that's where I spent most of my time abroad at, these jokers take vacations for everything, every month. They're gone for a couple of weekends, 2 weeks, and they don't have to worry about losing their job, because that job is going to be there when they come back. That's not just one company doing it. That's German-wide. Why can't we do that? A lot of people kick the issue about having a 4-day work week or working at home. And my kickback to that, which is part of my presidential platform, is why the fuck not? We're not in the 1950s anymore. We can do stuff right in our house that we could do in the office. And it has been proven for corporations, if you had a 4-day work week, you can actually save money by not having to have the lights and stuff on at the brick and mortar place.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to that time, it's also been proven if your employees have downtime to have time with their families and have vacation, they're more productive. America has to look at what we've done so far, and we're great. We did a lot of great stuff, but at what cost? When we talk about building cars, we built cars so much and so fast that people forgot about playtime, and they're only worried about the bottom line, which is making those cars and getting that money. You go over there to places where we like to have cars. My personal best is Porsche. They're not working like that. BMW factories are not working like that. Hell, if you go to Japan, they're not working hard like that. And they're getting paid and they're able to have time with their family. And again, I hold America firm to this. We're great. People look at us as being great, but we could be so much greater if we stop doing old ways of shit. The way we do things is too stuck in the past. And it doesn't take much to shift that. The problem is the people with wealth that's running the country, they know it's going to affect their playtime. It's not going to affect their bottom dollar. It's going to affect their playtime. And it's always been a case of who's better, the haves or the have-nots. They don't want us to have shit.
Right.
We need to change that. And it's not taking their money, but it's balancing that time. And I agree with you, Darius. Family needs to get together. We need to model that if we're going to talk about that in politics. And the only way we can do that is to have that time for them to be able to do that.
Right. Exactly. I'm going to touch on a couple of things right there. Arvin, you just said old ways. And we've talked about fucking term limits before because I'm in damn near 60, late 50s. Some of them congressmen up in there are in their 90s and 80s or whatever. They're too fucking old with what's going on, what need to be done right now. But all of them are filthy rich. They're millionaires, and they crave that power. I think and until we can weed them out, and they don't want to leave office, and they riding on 45 dick and everything like that too. Some of them. But I think Mitch McConnell's finally going after he's freezing up on the thing and everything like that. But yeah, I call that motherfucker Mr. Freeze. But to touch on that though. He just Mitch.
Are you there, Mitch?
Yeah. But they got to get the old motherfuckers out of there because when I come up, Arvin, you probably right along there too. The TV used to sign off and shit. You didn't have this and you didn't have that. Yeah, and now just think if we in our mid 50s, them motherfuckers was back there when it was the radio, so they can't relate to this day and time and what's going on. But they still up in there getting that power, getting voted in. Mitch McConnell, he's over Kentucky, I think. Kentucky, I believe.
Kentucky is one of the poorest states out there. Yeah.
And that motherfucker's a millionaire. He'll never go broke. But I'm just
go broke.
No, I just wanted to touch on that because when you mentioned old ways, I hope that it ever get to term limits one time because these motherfuckers need to go. And just to touch on your 3-tier homeless platform deal. I mean, you working with something. You've been a military, you've been a vet. I don't know if you have that written up that you can present it to. I forgot the first chain of defense, not defense, up there in Congress. It's your not commissioner,
Secretary of Defense, Secretary.
No, like if you were in you're in Minnesota, right?
Yeah.
So if you wanted to present it to, I just say the governor or someone, your plan, but to get the ball get it rolling, to let them see, hey, what about this option right here? Put something out there because sometimes all they're thinking about is just riding this other guy's tail over here to go on and push that agenda across and not really caring shit about the homeless. Because I believe that here in America, this homeless thing could have been taken care of a long time ago. And to touch base on the family, Darius, a lot of my family know I am big on family. When I threw the family reunion for us, and Sienna can tell you, it didn't cost anything. It was free. We had everybody to bring food, and we ate, and then when that shit run out, it runs out. Because sometimes when you get to putting a number on where each family pays 200, for example. Now, Ari's coming from goddamn Minnesota. Why does Ari have to pay $800? So you say, well, Paul, why he got to pay 800? Well, he got to fucking travel. He got to feed the kids coming along that way, or if they fly or they may drive, then they get here, they got to stay at a hotel. Now, sometimes when you got the reunion at a certain areas, I arrange for a discount at the hotel. But I push back on reunions when there's such a big fee, because for the families that's coming from out of town, I look at them and I think about them. And I have about, I don't know, about 8 or 9 of my family members that I'll text kind of regular. Hey, what's up? And they hit me back. Hey, what's going on? We shoot them a message. So, because I don't want to just be there and want them looking down at me when I'm in my fucking casket or something, And what's really bad too is when you can't go to your family. If me and Arby's are brothers and I can't go to him to let him break me off a couple $100 without him asking me what it's for. Somebody asked me for some money or one of my kids, whatever. I don't ask them what it's fucking for. I say, here you go when you pay me back. But we should be able to go to one another as family. But a lot of us can't. It's a lot of my family that I reach out to. I don't hear shit back from them. But all right, I ain't gonna say nothing there because I want you to choke while I go on that. But it's really bad though, and there's that families should stick together, and that it's just really bad. I mean, families should be right there for one another, but then you have some of them where you be like, man, I ain't fuck with that motherfucker. I got a cousin right now. If I call him today, it'll be 4 days later before he might call me back. But that's all I'm gonna say on the family deal right there is that I really wish the family would stick together, but somewhere in there or another, just parted ways. Arby, I hope y'all reunion goes well. Are y'all working on it right now?
No, we had our second one. The reason why we had it was because family was going apart, and I lost my grandmother in 2018, and we had the same conversation. Darius, why do we only get together for funerals? And one of the things my grandmother wanted was us to have a family reunion. So my brother and my cousin, we put our money together to make this happen because I got some well-off people in my family, and we got some not well-off people in our family. And the only way this was going to work is to tell people, look, y'all just show up. And we got the food and stuff, and it was good the first year. The second year, we did T-shirts and asked people to donate some money for the T-shirts. And we're going to keep doing it. And like I told my brother, we're not going to do it based on how many people come there. Mm-hmm. We're going to do it so when they're available to come, they know what's happening. Because the thing about family reunion, it's about passing the legacy down. Mm-hmm. It's not just about getting together. It's about talking to the cousins. That's going to give you the money. Or telling the cousins or the sisters and brothers that's acting funny why you shouldn't be acting funny, because life is not guaranteed for anybody. And you need to get it right now than later. But this family reunion thing had me thinking about something else. And this is a topic that is probably going to piss some of the listeners off. And I think some listeners are going to get wholeheartedly behind it. And it's the dealings with reparations. Mm-hmm. People haven't been talking about that too much, but there's a couple of cities that have taken it on their own accord and said, look, we're going to pay reparations to Black people in our community because this is a sin that's been going on too long, and we can't pay all of it back, but we can get something started. And I used to be one of those people that believed that, you know what, we don't need to just get money. We just need to get access to education, business loans, so we can make it ourselves. But when you look at just how much was taken from us, you are, and I'm not talking about rich people, I'm talking about the United States of America. You owe us money because everybody's heard about 40 acres and a mule, right?
Yeah.
How are we supposed to get that? Does everybody know where that area was going to be at for those 40 acres and a mule? No. It was the area from the bottom of North Carolina all the way down to down near Florida. All that was going to be a new turnover for the Civil War and enslavement. And when Martin Luther King, he wasn't even around yet. But when Abraham Lincoln was assassinated, the president that took over said, you know what? Let's not do that. I don't think that's good. Let's go ahead and stop that deal. It was actually called Field Order 15. Let's stop Field Order 15. And better yet, let's go ahead and kick the black people off the land. And we're going to give that to the white people that are displaced from slavery and stuff. So fast forward to now, there's a lot of expensive towns in South Carolina and Georgia and all that area. Just imagine if we had money from the descendants of that time. I'm not even talking about us having it, the kind of financial stability we as a people would have. It'd be totally different. And I come back to reparations because, you know, they're still trying to shut us out the American dream, but there have been people that they've paid. They paid the Japanese American for the internment camp. They paid the indigenous Americans for all the stuff that they took, even though the indigenous Americans standing on business saying, nope, we're not cashing that check. We want our damn property back. And there's been different groups of people that have been paid restitution for what they went through. But the people that built America, and this is not bragging or anything, it's just the facts, the black Americans have not had any type of restitution. And the way the rich are getting richer, we need to stop that right now and say, America, you owe this debt. Stop trying to give money to everybody else and work that out. Let's fix stuff at home. And one of the big things about this reparation thing is if they did that, America's going to see a spurt because America is a capitalist country. If we got that money, we're not going to sit on it. We have too many years of being poor to sit on it. But we're going to go out and not just buy cars and rims, but we're going to start businesses. We're going to have a whole bunch of building of houses and stuff, and people got to get hired. This is the way forward for America as a whole. If they give reparations to us, all of America is going to win.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know, the thing on that also is you will have so much pushback from the white community that they don't want to see. Yeah, they don't want to see us have anything really. And it's really, I mean, it's just fucked up. But just to backtrack for a second, when you was talking about business loans, it's been in the news that Navy Federal Credit Union have denied more loans to people of color. And do you know how many guys is it? Well, you know, because you're a veteran.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even need to say no more because you already know where I'm going with that. Yep. I mean, that Navy Federal Credit Union, I just joined them here a little while back, but they denied more. So when you go up in there to this bank or whatever to try to get the loan, now they have the photo of there and they see, oh, he's black. They find a way, in my opinion, to deny you or say you don't qualify for something because they steady trying to push back on us and hold us down on it, you know. But
I'm glad you brought up Navy Federal Credit Union because it brings back what needs to happen. When these organizations do that, I'm tired of us fighting to have the right to do business with them. When they do stuff like that, we need to step away from them. Economic power is the best tool we've ever had. When we talked about integration and civil rights era with Martin Luther King, nothing changed with all the protests and walk. Only thing that made a difference was when they started losing money because people wasn't riding the buses. If we really want to do something, we need to start listing. And I mean this as we the people, not just we the black people. We the people that believe in the dream of America need to say, Navy Federal Credit, you were wrong. And we're not just going to put you on blast, say you're wrong. We're going to get these lawyers to sue your ass on that. And in the meantime, everybody that believes you're wrong, we're taking our money out. We're not doing business with you. When we start seeing that and start using economic power, things are going to shift quickly. And I think this is why the powers that be are trying to make sure, number one, we're not educated, get that history up out of the way. Number two, make it extremely hard to get a foothold to start something like a small business loan or a home loan. Because as long as they can keep that financial base, they got the power structure.
Right.
Once we make a dent in that, we're off and running. And this is why places like Black Wall Street went down and so many other towns got burned. It wasn't because they were black, because we had a whole bunch of black towns. It was because they were black and prosperous, and they could not stomach that.
Yeah. All righty, shit. Well, I'll tell you what, because I know you're gonna have to bounce here in a second, and Darius, I want you to fall asleep on it, so we're gonna go and get ready to close things out. But so Darius, do you have anything, any kind of closing comments that you like, to bring up, say about anything? Mr. Rice, we see you, baby. We sure appreciate you listening and your questions and comments.
Thanks, Mr. Rice.
I enjoyed the podcast. I just think I fall behind a little bit just based off my age and my knowledge of a lot of things, especially in politics and things that's happening in the military. I fall behind a little bit. But other than that, being able to talk like a barbershop setting and speak however you want to. Because Buddy earlier just like kill everybody, and then everybody else was trying to be positive, and then he's back on fuck it, I'm killing everybody, and so it's cool. It's cool, it really is. And then I feel like what Wizzo has going on and being able to connect with people from all over as he is right now, it's going to start developing, and people of knowledge like yourself, Mr. Baker, is going to start coming on and speaking more knowledge. And this is what people want to hear. And this is our way of being educated, especially with young people like myself. And I learned some stuff today off of this podcast that I didn't know about. And I appreciate that.
Well, I'm going to tell you, Mr. Darius, it takes all age limits and education types to bring it, because we might be able to spit this old knowledge from being old, but this knowledge don't mean nothing if it's not passed down to the youth. And just having you here soaking up the stuff we're talking about, for better or for worse, you can share with your peers. You can get feedback from your peers. You can speak on behalf of where you at right now. Because how old are you, sir? I don't mean to.
I'm 26.
Okay. You're 26. My oldest son is 30. I can't figure out, what's good for you and what works for you, because, man, you probably never even wore polyester. And that's something I grew up in. So you can tell me what's new, what's hip, what's cool, and help me keep moving toward the future. But I can share with you the things about when having platform shoes was the shit. And what having a big afro meant, which was more than just that style. So we can bounce off each other, and all this information between us can go down to that little baby you was holding earlier.
My granddaughter.
So, your granddaughter, man. Your granddaughter's going to soak up this knowledge, and she'll be the one to take it to the next generation. So I appreciate you being on, and I hope to see you more, man.
Yeah, for sure. I don't mind at all coming on and talking. So
cool.
All right, that's what's up. All right, Aubrey, what you got for us here?
Oh man, as always, it's a pleasure to kick it and talk it. And like I told you before, when we was talking about barbershop talk, this really brings me back to when I was a little kid, going in the barbershop and having people from multi-generations talk shit but kick knowledge. And I really believe this is the reason why I'm so adamant about absorbing this knowledge and history, because I was exposed to it at a young age. Now, everybody in my family is not the same, but not everybody went to the barbershop like I did, where my grandmother dropped me off to be with the men, and her and my sister went to the beauty shop next door for all the women to talk their talk. So this is something we need to continue, because in Chicago, the communities, I feel, were stronger when we had that. And as soon as we lost those black barbershops, so went the community. Nobody cared about each other anymore. Nobody knew each other anymore.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly. And now in this day and time, the age of information, man, is so much information and so much knowledge out there, but you have to want it and you have to seek it and you have to go and find it. I mean, I think somebody said something about TikTok or something now. The internet is making millionaires, out of people. And you just can't sit back and be that couch potato, because some of the things that's now in this day and time we didn't have but we had a good life and decent life. But sometimes you can look back and like, man, if I knew this shit back then, you know.
Wizzo, the only way we was gonna know that is go to the library and open up all those dusty ass encyclopedias. That was our internet.
That was
Shit.
it.
If you didn't know the Dewey Decimal System, you was lost. They don't even know about Dewey Decimal no more. Because they can just click it.
Yeah.
But it's beautiful, man.
It is. It definitely is, man. But you got to seek that knowledge and you know, that information out there and pass it on down. And the things that I've always kind of taught my kids, you know, the way that I was raised and brought up, I try to show them and bring them up differently and give them a little bit more so they can pass on a little bit more and break that cycle of whatever. Yes, especially, I'll just use this as an example about black people can't swim. I want to make sure my kids know how to swim. You know, Sienna does better underwater. Tristan can swim on top or on the bottom. Me, I can kind of stay afloat a little bit. But, you know, it's been black people scared of water. You know, breaking that cycle of different things like that, man, is what we want to do. But just to recap, you know, we talked about the Goon Squad, you know, the terrorist group, the sub out there in Miami, the 3-tier homeless deal, you know, and family times and stuff like that. So, guys, it was definitely, you know, I appreciate you guys coming on. Some of the other guys had to drop off. A couple of them didn't show up because of whatever. But I appreciate y'all wholeheartedly and look forward to having y'all on again. I know, Arby, I know you be ready, you know, and once you commit, I know I got you. And if something happens, I know about it way ahead of time as opposed to some of them just not leaving me hanging. Darius, I'm sure we'll see you again too. Oh, go ahead, Arby.
No, I was going to say, and that's some of the things that we got to practice because sometimes we get so complacent with each other. We don't think about this as a courtesy call. I look at everything as business. The same way I would do a Fortune 500 company. If I can't make the meeting, I'm going to do it for you. You should have the same, you should get the same respect anybody else would get, regardless of color or financial level. And the more we do that, the more we start treating each other as worthy of that, the faster we can move forward, man.
Yeah. You know, and Ari, you and I, you know, we're old school. We don't need this contract. We can shake hands and make a deal because word is bond.
Oh,
we grew up like that, and that's us right there, you know. And I'm in that generation where I give Darius, I tell you I'm gonna do blah blah blah. Well, goddamn it, I'm gonna do it come hell or high water because I didn't gave my word, and my word means something. I stand firm on my word when I say it. And Arby, I know you like that also.
Oh yeah,
and it's very 100%. Few people that are like that. It's very few. Mr. Rice, I think you listen in. I think you're one like that, and it's very few like that. But we give our word. It's it. We locked in. We'll cancel all that other shit because we didn't give our word to be there for you. If my phone ring and one of my kids or somebody called me or a friend called me, they need me, goddamn it. Oh, baby, I'll be right back for that one right there. But for that other one, fuck him. Guys, I appreciate y'all stopping in, jamming, and listening to Barbershop Talk, cutting up the conversation, part 3. There's more parts to come. And this is Paul Wizzo. Holla at your boy. We'll holler at y'all.
Peace.